Here we go then, everyone. We are back. It is a WERL Season 4, and we are here for race number 2 around the Circuit of the Americas in the USA, of course. My name is Kyle SW, and it's a pleasure to be back for race 2. Of course, I missed out on last week's race, but a fantastic race it was nonetheless. You, of course, had the great tones of Brian Moore, and I'm pleased to say that I won't be doing it alone this week. I'll be joined by Brian Moore. And Brian, how are you feeling? Are you as excited as I am for this one? I love this track, so you're as excited as I am to get going here.
Certainly. I mean, it is an exciting track to race at, and it's wet and spring quali here, so we could see a bit of Australian magic from Entok again, like he did at Australia in the wet. So, I mean, 16 drivers, one more than last week. It's going to be a tight one in certain places, as I've just watched someone go for a little bit of a spin into turn one. I'm not sure who that was, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, and it's going to be interesting to see what the weather's like throughout the sprint and into the main race as well, because obviously we have sprint and main race tonight.
That's of course correct. It's one shot quality, then it's 10 laps around this circuit here in Texas, and then we go again. It's going to be 28 laps around for the main race. Of course, everyone who is watching us on Twitch has no idea what we're talking about because they can't see what we're seeing. So let's take your track side then for this one shot quality session as we're on board with Crancy. Of course, I do this every time. I forget to get all the information up before I go on go trackside. And one interesting thing you are now seeing on your screen is that we have a mix of wet and intermediate tires on track. Currently, Pro Ultra, Kelly, we're going to go for Chenky. They're on the wet tyres and they're leading at the top, where DET Abaddon is the highest placed runner on the Inters. The other three Inters runners, other than MUFC Joe, who has just retired, are all down the back. So it looks like Inters probably weren't the way to go, as Zentot also jumps ahead of DET Abaddon. But yeah, doing well, DET Abaddon, currently on the Inters here.
Yeah, and situations like this where it's one-shot qualifying, you can't really go out and see what the track's like, so you just got to go by what you feel is best. And a few people decided Inters, and I mean, for Volt and Gabriel, it's not paid off for Baden. He's naturally fast anyway, so he's just using that to his advantage here to push on them intermediates to. I mean, P5 isn't too bad for him compared to the other intermediate runners.
Of course, Gabriel was disqualified there. So track limits at play here. Of course, it's quite easy to do whilst I turn the sound up in my ear because I can't hear it. Apparently, that's full. Okay, and here's your grid then for the 10 laps sprint around the Circuit of the Americas. It's Pro Ultra then, 149.9, followed by Kelly. That would be Chenky, Entop. Great showing from Entop there. Loves the rain, no matter what track he's at. DET Abaddon then on the Inters. Managed to pull a good lap out. Regan, Arctic Ryan, Zitazaf, Karanci, and Yee. And then your retirements from that one, if I can get there quick enough, as Joe, Angry Ink, Rob Owens, CFC, Liagos, and Gabriel, who got disqualified, we assume, from track limits as we get the title card back up. So a mixed grid there. I mean, we've seen the likes of Entok quite high up before in this kind of weather, but yeah, a little bit of a mixed grid. Don't quite know what to expect as the sun is going to be out for the race then.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the last thing Entok really wanted to see, a dry race after the qualifying performance. We know what he's like in the dry, but a lot of DNFs, and most likely assuming that they were possibly from mistakes or whether people just decided to call it quits on their lap, unknown. But yeah, let's see how this is gonna go. Um,
Yeah, of course. I just wondered if you were going to get a
as
sentence
someone
out there. I was getting a bit concerned. I was like, it was a.
no, I was
Um,
just seeing someone saying that they're gonna have to retire in the sprint to do something.
that's what we like. I'm sure Max Verstappen's done that many times. Just gonna go for a little run around the block and just gonna go and relax. But we are going.
So
Oh,
we're
the five
about to
red,
go
five,
race.
five red lights are coming up then. And we're underway for the sprint then. I forget who's this Pro Ultra who's on top. I It didn't give me any comment. Nothing came up on my screen for a minute there, so apologies. If you're watching on the stream, you would have seen that. You know I wasn't lying. Paraultra then managed to hold it into turn 1 as Heli is there into 2. Entok now up to into second position. And Chenki. Someone's falling down. It's DET Ibadan falling down the track. So that great showing on the intermediate tyres in qualifying. Not kind of panning out at the moment as he gets back ahead of Rob though. So Entok then. Probably getting a nosebleed out there. Not very often we see him up the top. It's someone who we very much like in this league and we love to see do well. But kind of struggles with some of the drivers here. We've got some really good standards of drivers here. So Chenki up there into third position. So be happy about that. We'll be looking to make tracks towards Paraultra, who's already pulled a 1.2, 1.3 second gap on Entok. So great start from Entok, but may struggle from here on in as he's got 3 cars on the back of him.
Title card's still on stream.
Say that again, sorry.
The title card's still on the stream.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, well, that's not great. That great start then was absolutely ruined. Look, they entrust me to run, to run the stream here, and I've let you all down. But that is Chenki then, side by side with Entok, I believe. These cameras are not working for me. I don't know what's happening. But it's gone down the inside then, so he's up into P2, and we'll be hoping to hunt down Paraultra as quickly as possible. 9 laps left to go, and what has happened
As
there?
Thiago has found the wall.
Thiago?
I think there was a little bit of contact between him and someone, and he's ended up hitting the wall to start of Sector 3. That's unfortunate for him on debut. New Red Bull driver, in fact, as of today after Red Bull. Interestingly enough, fired their driver not even 2 races into the season.
That's crazy then. As you were saying that was Regan and Entok. Will banging into the corner. Somebody's not going to be too happy about that. I don't know who was to blame. We joined while they were already locked, so we're not sure who was to blame, but we will find out, I'm sure, in the stewards room later. Now, Chenki, 3.3 seconds off the Paraultra, so got past Entok, but hasn't made tracks on Paraultra yet. Paraultra is looking like the fastest of the 2, actually the fastest of everyone on the grid so far, so let's see how that goes. Arctic Ryan then, and Angry Ink, who's just fallen to 13th, with penalties already on lap 2.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a track you expect to get C penalties being picked up on. It's certainly a difficult one to keep within track limits, at least I find it is, and I know some other drivers do as well. And Otto Ryan, I've commentated on him elsewhere. He is a driver who sometimes does struggle with the penalties a little bit, but he's in a good 6th position in the points on his debut. He's just got to try to put the foot down, but what's interesting is Regan is up there and he's on the back of Gelly, battling to try and get on the podium for a double podium for Ferrari.
Yeah, as you say, another race to come then. So not ideal, of course, but you know, there's another chance to go at it. 28 laps, of course, to go at it a bit later on then. So Yi and Angry Ink have not left each other's side for a little while here. They are battling it out with Crancy just in behind. Regan, as you say, well up there. Got a penalty there. He's told me to stop saying that he gets penalties in races because I keep commentators cursing him. It's happened in 2 leagues now where I've mentioned it and they've popped up immediately on screen. So Regan, I will mention the penalties that you have, but I won't mention the penalties that you don't have. Gabriel then, right on the back of ONCFC, looking like the race you have the 2 at the moment. Although there is a good train here. Entok currently driving a DRS, it's DRS train. I questioned myself whether that was what it was called for a minute there. All the way down to Gabriel and MUFC Joe. Not far off this, so looking to try and bring himself back in. This is a great shot, that. I love that. So let's see then who's going to come off on top here as we get down towards the end. Looks like Arctic Ryan's going to have a go on Entok then. So Entok falling down the order. He's not going to be too happy about this. Will the Alpine follow him through? He is going to follow him through. So that was a great little dive there from DET Ibadan. Entok giving loads of space. So really good fair driving from Entok. He's obviously not going to be too pleased that he's falling down the field like this. And that's a dive there then from that. I was about to say Gabriel, but it's not. It's the other Merc. It is Rob then. So Entok absolutely not having a good time right now. As now Rob in the McLaren also going down the inside. So these positions are changing a lot here. So yeah, a lot to try and keep an eye on. And I do apologise if I get their names wrong, but the Discord is covering. You know when it tells you who's in the chat, it's covering 7th, 8th, and 9th position for some reason. It's really annoying me. And these are the people who are changing positions. I can't see who they are. But ONCFC, Entok's falling back. And there's a lot to unpick here, Brian. I can't. I don't know who to keep an eye on right now.
Neither do I. As Gabriel's just made a nice move up into ninth. He's now a place off the points in the sprint, because obviously sprint goes down to 8th. But off topic quickly, back to what you were saying about Regan with penalties. He actually won penalty list last weekend.
Oh, I missed out on that one then. Wow. It's because I wasn't here. That's what he's going to say, isn't it? He's going to say, because I wasn't in comms, that's why it happened, as DT Abaddon is looking racy on the back of Arctic Ryan. We'll see how that one pans out down the end of this DRS straight then. But yeah, it'll obviously blame me for that, I imagine, as the Mercs are going side by side.
Maybe that's why he wanted you here today. As actually, up in second, Gelly has made it past Chenky for second place now. Regan is just starting to drop back a little bit into the grasp of Abaddon.
Yeah, I was going to go on board as you were speaking, but I chose not to because DT Abaddon here, yeah, absolutely, was all over the back then. Oh, Ryan, and it's fierce down here this week. I'm loving this racing. Nobody's DNF'd during a battle just yet. So good racing, but yeah, there's some battle lines being drawn. There's some wheel marks being put on the cars, and yeah, as MUFC Joe now jumps into 9th position. Don't forget, they only get points down to 8th position in the sprint, so they'll all be wanting to take that 8th position from Gabriel, and they could all take it because Gabriel is driving a train all the way down to Yeadon. So anyone could absolutely get that last point, as the Mercs look like they're really racing each other. They're not working together this week, so that'd be interesting to see how that one pans out. So what do you make of Chenky's pace this week? Of course, Chenky being someone who did extremely well last season. When I say extremely well, I mean champion from last season. You know, when I questioned it for a minute, I went, I better just say words while I remember if that's what happened. That is what happened. Yeah, he absolutely smashed the field. Didn't even race every race last week. Of course, sat out last race as well. Wasn't here for race 1. So someone we expect to be up there. Someone we expect to be fighting for the win all the time. And currently finds himself in 3rd position, losing ground to Pro Ultra.
Yeah, I find this it's interesting as well, but obviously it's a sprint weekend, so they have to choose their tyre allocation, tyre strategy carefully. So I'm just curious if Chenky's going for a different strategy for the main race, and he's just holding again Ferrari some points to really kickstart their constructors title charge this season again after a disappointing start to the season. Only 6 points last week in Vegas from Regan, but I think it will come for Chenky, but there's obviously a few new drivers in the field, likes of Gele, Arctic Ryan, and a couple of others who haven't raced yet this season. So I think Chenky is just getting used to racing and battling with new drivers this season. That could be a reasoning behind it. Pro Ultra has also shown that, you know, he's got decent tyre management throughout the last season when he did race, so that's another thing just to take into consideration as well. So, you know, it's the weekend isn't won or lost in the sprint. It's just a stepping stone. That's if sort of the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, absolutely. As CFC takes a position then from Arctic Ryan, who does have end plate damage, so that's not going to be the easiest car to drive. Luckily, not the twistiest of tracks. So, Sector 1, of course, being very twisty, so that's not going to be ideal for him. But here, it's just foot flat to the floor until you get to the end. I noticed, actually, Arctic Ryan is car 95, which I believe is also Chenky's number, isn't it? Is it? If he used to be.
Chenky has taken the number 1 this season.
I see. Very smart. As Entok gets it back into the 10th position and goes wide for good measure. Let me take the contact of screen. So we were speaking about the points there and how Regan then and Chenky teaming up again at Ferrari. It was a successful duo last time out. Although Regan will be the first to admit that the majority of those points did come from Chenky, but it was very, very pleased at the end. If we remember that interview we did with Regan, very pleased, made sure everyone knew about it, and rightly so. But let's remind ourselves then of the championship as it currently stands, and there is your Drivers' Championship. Drivers' points on screen now. So Heady then 26 points, of course, leads going into this after last week's race win, as we've seen Entok and Rob side by side again. And 1 point for fastest lap, which we obviously do have in this league. We've got Joe just behind. We've got Robert, Gabriel, Owen, Entok, Regan there then. So some good points for Ferrari there. As you mentioned, Scorpio, Winston, Cooler, Volts, Azizi, Abaddon, Pro Ultra, Randro, Ryan, Chenky, Angry Ink, Kieran, I'm going to say S22, I believe that says Liam, Crancy,
Yep.
and BLH then. So many of the drivers at the bottom yet to drive. So that's where we stand. And then let's have a little look at the teams then. So currently, Ferrari are nowhere to be seen, which is not what we said very often last time out. So Mercedes then lead the way with 33 points. We've got Alpine, Aston Martin, McLaren, Sauber, Ferrari, Racing Bulls, Williams, Haas, and Red Bull yet to get off the bottom of the standings there. So the Mercedes pair then, I mean, look like they might run away with it so far. Although looking currently where we are on the current track, only 7th, so only 2 points to be scored as it currently stands. As Rob, though, he's obviously heard me and decided, oh, I better make a move, and got himself into 10th position, but 3 seconds off the next person at the moment.
Yeah, Mercedes had a really good showing last week, to be fair. Double podium for them, Rob picking up an unlikely podium, really, in the grand scheme of how the last couple of seasons have gone for Rob. Beating Gabriel to 3rd place by 400ths of a second, and Joe comfortably enough ahead of him taking 2nd place. So yeah, Mercedes had a good start to the season, but the question is, can they keep it up as the season progresses and the likes of Chenky start racing more? Obviously missed round 1, as you said, but he's the type of driver who, when he shows, he gets the results. He gets pretty consistent podiums. I don't think he's ever missed out on a podium, to my knowledge.
Oh, as Crancy retires, but he was just holding up the back of the field, so not completely surprised. And he does it in the pit lane, so that's very nice for him there. By the way, as I was going through there to get the penalties up on screen, I did notice that Heli and Chenky are on hard tyres, where everyone else on the mediums, apart from, I think it was Crancy who was on the softs. Let me just confirm that. It was Crancy who was on the softs. Yeah. So yeah, interesting strategy there. As Rob and Entok go side by side and Joe and Owen go side by side. So these Mercedes really, really would love to keep the championship, keep hold of the championship at the moment. So I've just gone on board with Regan there. And I was trying to work out what the hell was happening. But yeah, Regan and DT Abaddon going side by side then. So great showing from Regan so far. He's absolutely storming up this field. How many times last season did we say Regan has the pace? He's just not really been able to show it. And this season, he's obviously taken that to heart and gone, well, let me show you. But however, speaking of Regan, and as we've got them on screen, let's quickly run through the penalties so far then. So Kelly is on 6 seconds worth of penalties. So fast driver, who is actually currently hunting down Pro Ultra. So now the hard tyre is clearly the better tyre. But there's a big arse with 2 laps left to go. But yeah, 6 seconds then. So all that work will drop him back behind Chenky, unfortunately. However, Chenky does look like he may want to do this on track. The ET Abaddon then ahead of Regan. Probably doesn't really make a big difference to Regan, who does have 3 seconds worth of penalties. But speaking of 3 seconds worth of penalties for Regan, MUFC Joe then, 6 seconds in behind. I was about to say within the 3-second window, but he's got 6 seconds himself, so it doesn't really matter. Owen CFC, 6 seconds. Arctic Ryan with 3 seconds, so this will bump him up into 6th position if he stays where he currently is. Gabriel, 3 seconds as well. Because penalties everywhere. They're feeling very Oprah at the moment. Rob, 6 seconds. Entok, 6 seconds as they both switch position. So this will be for position, although not for points. Yee then, 3 seconds. So within the penalty window of Rob and Entok. So he'll want to stay there. Let me actually get that on screen while I'm saying that. And 6 seconds then for Zitazaf. 12 seconds for Angry Ink, who was facing the wrong way a little while ago. We didn't go on board because it just didn't seem worth it. But he was facing the wrong way in the 2nd sector a little bit earlier on. So we are now on the final lap, and I've just seen some some end plate damage there for Rob. But as we enter the final lap of this race, somebody's in the wall. Who was that? That was Zitazaf. I just caught that in the background, just facing the wrong way. So we'll see that as we go past with Angry Ink. So that's unfortunate. Zitazaf, as far as I remember, wasn't in the points anyway. But yeah, not ideal. So Final lap here then, Brian. What do you make of this so far?
It's been a solid performance out of the front from Pro Ultra. Gele, Chenky, been in their own little world. Regan did pick up 6 seconds worth of penalties, so he's got to be careful not to pick up another 3 seconds on this final lap. It's a very Regan thing to do that. Let's hope he doesn't do that for his sake and
You
everyone's
said it
sanity.
this time. This wasn't me this time.
Let's hope he doesn't pick up another 3 seconds for everyone's sanity, otherwise no one will stop hearing about it for weeks, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, Aston Martin, they had a decent season last season, obviously runners-up last season. 8th and ninth, obviously Ryan is only a reserve for them
Ooh,
tonight.
what was Regan?
Same. But yeah, Ryan only a reserve for them tonight, so
Yeah.
that's one thing. But the
I'm
really
going to
not
cut you
having
off there, Brian, just because
a
Pro Ultra is now coming across the line. I do apologise, but he's coming across the line. We haven't seen him all day, but we're on board to see him win the sprint race here. Then Chenky jumps up into second position on the penalties as DET Abaddon rounds the final corner for fourth position, penaltyless. So Chenky, Pro Ultra, and DET Abaddon then showing that you can finish this race without getting penalties. And there we go then, Gabriel and Arctic Ryan, the two Aston Martins, as you say, jumping up on penalties. As everyone else crossed the line, Yee then jumps up to 10th, and Angry Ink will get to the end of the lap at some point. While we're waiting for Angry Ink then, and before we go through the results there, I'll let you finish what you were saying.
But yeah, it's really not been the same dominant Aston Martin as well as we seen last season. Obviously, they led the championship at times, but not the same Aston Martin this season. It's just questions need to be asked. Do they have it in them to go to battle with Ferrari again this season?
Who was the second Aston again last season? Sorry, I can't remember who it was.
Last season was Joe.
Joe, yes, absolutely. So change of team there then. So as you confirmed on the screen, 8th position then for Owen CFC. Let's get the full results up in a minute then. Of course, we won't have updated standings, unfortunately, because who's got time for that? But yeah, there you go then. Pro Ultra wins that one. Chenky comes in second. Heli, DT Abaddon, Regan, Gabriel, Ryan, Owen, CFC rounds off the points finishers there. I don't think this is going to make much difference in the championship anyway. MUFC Joe then is in 9th. Yee in 10th. Entok, Rob, Angry Ink, Zidzaf, Crancy round off the... No, that's not the finishers. I can't remember. Angry Ink was the last finisher. Zidzaf, Crancy, HRT, Liagos, all retired from that one as I bring the title card back up. And I will remember to take it back off, he says, before the race start. Is it one shot quality again? Then I'm going to.
It should be one shot quality again.
Excellent, excellent. It's always a question as to whether we even show one shot quality, doesn't it? Because it's always just like you don't really see what's going on, do you? I'm going to sip my drink while I'm waiting, but yeah, that was a fun one to watch. Great driving from everyone. There's a lot of position changes and very little crashes.
Yeah, and that's how it was last week as well. I mean, when you saw on a street track, you always sort of fear to yourself, is there going to be loads of crashing and all? But there wasn't last week, and it's turning over, and the same is happening again this week. No big amounts of crashes, so that's good to see. I mean, there's a little bit of tire banging with one another, but that's really just to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, who should we go on board with then? I'm not going to try and jump around too much because it just gets confusing. But who should we go on board with for this dry one-shot qualifying session?
I'll let you decide.
I think we'll go with Pro Ultra as he did win last time out, so it seems smart to do so. But currently running in second then, so let's see if he can repeat what he did last time. I can't remember. It was the pole. It was the pole for Pro Ultra last time, wasn't it? It felt like it was only 10 minutes ago, but. Honestly, yeah. So running quite well then. As we go through the middle sector. Then we just went past the first sector split. We're gonna do the very sharp hairpin then right at the top, and it's just foot flat to the floor all the way to the end. The racing line does tighten up then, so we'll go on board and you'll see how the right hand side pops in. Not quite as much as it does in Abu Dhabi, but enough. Braking then, just past the 150 metre board. You can almost cut that corner. I mean, I would have cut it a bit more if it was me, but sometimes you can get the line a little bit wrong. And it's purple sector 2 then. It has put him currently back in the fight for pole, although Shelley End here has gone back past. So this is going to go right down to the line then. So I think we've chosen the right person to be on. Keeping it tight then as we go through the fast right-handers there. The turkey style as Yi has got back in their session. And Rob has retired. It's the final corner then for Pro Ultra. Is he going to get pole at the line? It doesn't look like it. He's not, but it's a 10th. It is a 10th in it, so it's really not that much. And then it's a 4/10 gap to the next person. So we'll quickly run you through the results as they all come in so fast when you're watching One Shot Quality. I realise I've left the title card on. I know, don't say it. I will get the title card off in a minute. But Heli then is, I'll tell you what, I'll get it off while we look at the results. 131.8 for Heli and Pro Ultra. Lit a 10th behind the bigger gap then to DT, Abaddon, Chenki, Gabriel, Owen, CFC, Entok, Regan, Crancy, Zitazaf, Yi, HRT, the Argos. I wonder if it's Hispania Racing Team. Rob, no time. I don't really know what that means. And it's a DSQ then for Joe, Arctic, Ryan, and Greg Inc., who would have all had track limits issues there. I know everyone watching loved watching that because they definitely saw it, and I definitely didn't forget the title card again. I know, I'm not even putting it back on. They can watch the menus right now because clearly I can't be trusted. I think this is only the second time I have done a sprint race where you turn it on and off that much. But yeah, but while we're waiting for everyone to get their strategies together, I'll remind everyone it is myself, Carl SW, and Brian Moore. I don't even know if I said my name when I started the stream. Maybe I did. But it's on your screen now in case you're going, who is that? Maybe I did. I don't know. This is going well, isn't it? But yeah. There you go. It's on screen. That's who I am. Get involved in chat then. There's nobody getting involved in chat at the moment. So I'm just ending the... just hiding the ad there. But yeah, get involved in chat. Let us know what's going on. Let us know your predictions then. I don't know what the numbers are. Is there a way to see that on OBS? Users in chat. Here we go. Yes, there we go. We can, yeah, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apparently. There's a Vegas fan 60 and a Vegas fan 90. And then there's yourself. What's the history behind your Twitch name then? Where does that come from? Oh, I tell you what, you got to wait unfortunately because the 5 red lights are coming on. And we're underway then for race 2 here at WRL and Pro Ultra and Getty. I'm going to go side by side again. I'm getting no sound and no... it's all back. It's all come back on now. I'm all ghosted for some reason. So the game's not loving me very much this week. So I was about to say everyone's safely through, but no, that is an Aston Martin. That is Gabriel then, who's facing the wrong way. No, I think it was... I don't know who it was. But one of the 8 Astons was facing the wrong way then. And another one, the Merc's got off and he's hit the ball and he's out. His rear left tyre is out. MUFC Joe then. That is the end of the race for MUFC Joe. No safety car then. So that's surprising. And it's a VSC maybe? No, it's just gone really slow through there. A lot of position changing at the back then. Heli and Pro Ultra and Chenki all holding on to their starting positions. But yeah, it was chaos at the back. I tried to get on board with as many people as I could. I believe it was Gabriel then who was spanned, I believe, I was about to say by a Haas, but there is no Haas here other than Pro Ultra. So there's no chance it was a Haas. But... chaos at the start there. Did you manage to get an eye on what really happened back there?
No, I was keeping an eye on the front to see if Pro Ultra was going to try and make a move for the lead into turn 1, but I have got position changes up. Gabriel losing 9 places off the start. That's a heavy drop for him. But Angry Ink and Rob both gaining 6 off the start, so good starts for them.
Yeah, I'm being told that we're in an ad break on Twitch apparently, so that's always fun. But yeah, loads of positions there. Jay, I'll tell you what, we'll get the position changes up as Heli has. Gap Pro Ultra at the moment has dropped him out of the DRS Ranger. That could be a big news for his race then, as he is fighting hard to get the win here as it escaped him in the sprint. But fastest lap so far. We will actually, I'll tell you what, we will start with. Full chat map is up. We'll start with the tyres. You know what? I'm not even going to do any of that right now because there's so much going on. Let's make sure we focus on the position changes first. There's Crancy, Angry Ink, and Arctic Ryan. Then all goes to the side, and that is a crashing another one already. So not Arctic is Angry Ink then into the side of Crancy and push him straight into the wall, and that will be a virtual safety car. So that's unbelievable. And that one, let me tell you. That one's going to the stewards, I am sure. There is a penalty in there for him. Is that a 10-second for? That's 3 seconds, so track limit. So Yeah, not ideal then, not ideal. But yeah, virtual safety car is going to slow everyone up for now. And everyone, I think at the top, especially, everyone's just going to relax for a minute and just kind of regroup themselves. Oh, no, they're
Yeah,
not, because we're back green. But yeah, I'll let you continue.
I was gonna say, Pro Ultra starting on the hards compared to Gelly on the medium, so that's partially the gap of Regan, interestingly enough. Only driver to start on the softs, which I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, they don't go well as he's missing both end plates as well, so I'll guess he's going to be in soon. Um,
Yeah, I
Unless
mean,
he's just adding the extra downforce
I think
or extra
starting
like
on the
speed.
soft probably wasn't the best idea, but now that he's got those templates missing, not actually bad in the end then because he can get those softs off and be just focused on his race ahead. So obviously he didn't plan to obviously have those templates missing, but yeah, it means he hasn't wasted a good tyre because this game does force you to change tyres. You can't come in for just the wing stop that you can in real life. And Angry has retired then. Perhaps he blamed Crancy for that, but yeah, as we're watching a wing change for Regan then, loving the fact that he took the G off his name because that really
As
puts
I think, in fact, I think I know what's happened. I think he hit the wall in the pit lane entrance because safety car's out.
safety car is out. Absolutely, yeah. Actually, I completely missed that. So, but he didn't. I was on board with him, and he absolutely didn't. So this is a rogue safety car. I'm not quite sure what this is for. Nobody's facing the wrong way. Maybe where did Angry Ink retire? Did he retire in the pit lane? Um,
I don't know because the car was just stopped at the pit lane entrance.
That might have been Angry Ink then. So perhaps Angry Ink retired by crashing into the pit lane entrance. It wasn't Regan. I wasn't bored of Regan. So yeah, this is great news then for Pro Ultra, who's currently on those hard tyres. Nobody, I expect, will pit currently. This will bring Regan back in. Although if Regan knew that safety car was going to come out, he would have sucked it up for one more lap, I'm sure, and then come in a little bit later on. But yeah, it's going to reset the whole field then. So full safety car on lap 3 then. As we're seeing the tyres there, we've got hards for Owen CFC, Arctic Ryan, Gabriel, and now Regan, who will try to go as long as he possibly can. Let's have a quick look then at the position changes. Big win then for Entok, up 2 positions. Biggest win though will go for Rob. Who's up 7. Citizaf up 3. Owen CFC down 2. Arctic Ryan up 6. So another big winner there. Yee's up 1. Gabriel, the biggest loser, I'm afraid, down 6. But we saw Gabriel get spanned the wrong way earlier on, so we'll see what comes of that for next week. As ONCFC has a severe collision with Zitazaf under the safety car. Now that's just, you got to be more careful than that. That's just an absolute waste. People will brake hard on the safety car. They want to warm up their tyres, warm up their brakes. And that's just a penalty you just don't need to get, as he's now decided, actually then, I'm going to go in the pits and get off these tyres. He's on the hard tyres though. Why, Brian, would Owen CFC be coming off the hard tyres?
I think the only reason I could see him doing this is serve the 10-second penalty now
Yeah.
rather than later in the race. That's a possibility. But then again, I mean, I'm not gonna say it because I don't mean it when I say this, but sometimes he does make interesting strategy calls that a lot of people would question.
Yeah, I forget that
That is
you can get the 10-second penalty removed so quickly. So, smart play, I would say. However, speaking of potential smart plays, Chenky. Chenky has come off the medium tyres and gone onto a set of hards. Now, this could be absolute genius, or this could be your complete race killer. Now, I understand what he's done here. He's obviously gone onto hard. He'll be back on the back of the grid, and he will fight his way through. I imagine, you may know, I know Owen's kind of quite good at this sort of thing, whether, I assume those hards won't go to the end. So I guess his thoughts potentially are get back to the front and then pit on the same strategy as everyone else and maybe go on to another set of fresh mediums or softs while everyone else has gone on to the hard tyres and struggling. Other than Pro Ultra, of course, who I believe, if I remember correctly, yes, is started on the hard. So he's the only person to have pulled the trigger and done that then, Chenky.
Yeah, I mean, Texas with the obviously people would go, oh well, it doesn't affect the in-game, but it does. The like heat off the track temperature. And Texas is a high degradation track, especially through the first sector. I mean, Chenky's is good with tire management. We can't deny that, but I don't think they'll go to the end. But if another safety car comes out after everyone else is pitting, he's at the front, it's basically a 3 second pit stop for him. And if he does think he can take them to the end, manage the tyres throughout this race, as
Oh,
Vault has picked up a 10 second for ignoring yellow flags.
I believe he's in the pits. So how has he managed that?
Think uh, s- this is a bit of a throwback to COTA season 1 when Owen came. Oh, was it COTA? Oh, there was a race in season 1. I think it was Singapore where someone came into pits and overtook the safety car and got disqualified. So I think it could be the games deemed him as overtaking people as on his way into the pits. But I mean, it's under safety car, so he'll catch back up before the safety car comes in. I should have served the 10 second penalty there. Yeah, he served the penalty, so it's not going to bite him at the end of the race.
Yeah, fair enough. As its staff almost went into the back of Rob there. I saw them swapping positions a little while ago, so I've gone on board, and they're all very close. These drivers are all very close. We're nowhere near the end of the lap yet. I think we need to calm down a little bit. We'll have some more 10 second penalties come in, but yeah, I'm looking forward then to seeing this Chenky strategy because I was not expecting it. Something more to seeing what that's going to look like as it plays out through this race then. So yeah, how exciting this one's going to be. Kelly, you know what? I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I'll wait till I'm corrected. Currently leading then has not dropped off the front since getting that pole position. Pro Ultra has been on his back for all that as well as Entok is aggressively warming up the tyres. That was quite fun to watch. Yeah, so yeah, they're chilling up front. They're pretty good. I imagine the safety car will probably come in this lap. We'll find out as we hit that sector 3 line, which is about there, isn't it? So actually, no. I
I
think no,
think it's
we've gone past it.
next
Yes,
corner.
no, we've gone past it. I can see
I
it
think it.
on the track map. So we've
No,
gone.
I think the safety car gets called in during this right-hander.
If it does it here, that's ridiculous. That's yeah, you got to fix that. But Red Bull then of Yi still catching up to the back. I don't think that safety car's going in.
No, it's not a
No.
lap.
So Red Bull then. Oh, Volt or Yi as you'll see on screen. Causing the safety cars to stay out one more lap just to keep it fair, because the safety car's known for always being fair. Just like Abu Dhabi 2021. We won't talk about that. But so yeah, we'll skip over that. But as we go for another lap then here, Brian. I mean, who's impressed you so far?
Um, it's been a difficult one to say really, but I think Gabriel. I mean,
Oh,
obviously safety cars come out, which has helped him.
Pro Ultra's gone off the track. He's gone off the track. I, Abaddon's now ahead, so that was obviously a mistake. And now now obviously you know the rules for the league better than I do. But the way the game works, that would have allowed Abaddon through without a penalty. Now, if it was a genuine mistake and you want to just kind of play it fair, league racing etiquette probably would suggest that Abaddon should go off track and let Pro Ultra back through. However, in the letter of the game, that's technically allowed. But is that allowed within the rules of WRL, Brian?
Um, I mean, if it's
Here we
a
go.
genuine
Giving it
mistake, I
back.
mean, he's lining him through. So I was
Yeah.
gonna say, if it's a genuine mistake, then obviously we haven't got any rules saying you
Yeah.
can't, you're not gonna let people pass if they make a mistake, then you don't have to give the position back. There's no rule saying that you have to, but I'm a little bit surprised that Baden has done because I know and I've heard it from sort of Baden himself and other people. The two of them have a very heated rivalry with.
Oh, interesting. We have a rivalry here in WRL.
They do not, from what I can tell, they do not like each other at all. So, I mean, it's nice to see Baden has given the position back, and um, you know, that is good to see. Yeah, but there isn't any rule saying that you have to give it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I think that's a really good drive from Abaddon. He's obviously thinking if he want to do it, he's going to do it off track. And the safety car was called in at the sector 3 line, as we expected. So yeah, he's obviously decided that if I'm going to get past him, I'm going to do it on track, and there's going to be no question as to my ability and my speed. But yeah, I don't know quite know what happened to Pro Ultra. It'd be interesting to watch that back. I kind of saw it, but I didn't see how it happened. It looked like he just kind of maybe wasn't paying attention for a second, and then the curb kind of pulled him out. And Abaddon just kind of come past. It was very odd, but we are going to get ready to go again. Heli's not pulled the trigger just yet, but we are coming up to the end of the lap here then. So the final corner beckons. He's taking it really tightly. So, that was very close for Ultra. Now he's gone because the start-finish line comes up at you very quickly then. Pro Ultra then. Fantastic start. He's maintained the gap, and the Badden's also maintaining the gap behind Ensock, looking the raciest of everyone. So let's get on board with Ensock. There is a Red Bull currently on the inside of Rob. That's it, Azaf then looking to come past. Ensock looking very good here. I'm very impressed with Ensock's restart there. The Mercedes looks like he's got a bit of damage. I think that's from before. Regan then following his teammate through on ONCFC. So the Ferraris making hay then on their fresh hard tyres. They are not looking to hang around. Arctic Ryan has so many... the teammates are going side by side. So the standing reserve teammate then letting the full-time Aston Martin driver come past there. Whether that was coordinated or whether that was Gabriel just saying, well, get the hell out of my way. Who knows? The Ferraris then are going to Nowazaki up to the top, it would seem like. Will both Ferraris get past both Aston Martins cleanly with both Red Bulls holding up the back of the field then?
I mean, Chenki's got a very good. So I think Regan strategically let Chenki through there. Actually, no, Chenki was ahead of Regan.
Yeah, it was,
Ignore me there. I had a complete brain malfunction. They're both red cars. But yeah, I think Regan, once they got past Owen, Regan sort of dropped back a little bit to try and just hold Owen up a little bit to help Chenki. But with how close everyone is, it's not really worked, and Regan's now dropped out of the points. But there's a long way to go in this race still for Regan to get back up in the points and score. We're only sort of a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, Owen CFC much faster than Regan through there, then was able to take advantage there and get past him quite easily and quite cleanly. So I was surprised actually how easily he done that. I know Regan's on the hard, but he's on the fresh hard. So very surprised to see how easily Owen CFC got past Regan. Chenki then looking to have another position here on Arctic Ryan. And he's not quite pulled it off there then. So Zitazaf then has retired. I didn't see that. Did you see that? As another full safety car is on track.
I've seen the aftermath of it. He's facing the wrong way in the wall on the exit of turn 1. So I think I know what's happened there. I think there's possibly been a bit of contact between him and I'm not sure who he was battling at the time, but I think there was a bit of contact and him facing the wrong way. But as for the Pro Ultra Baden bit, I've done a little bit of digging. Pro Ultra had let Abaddon through, fearing that there was going to be a report and a possible penalty coming his way, and then Abaddon let him back through, saying that he wasn't going to report it anyway. And so yeah, good sportsmanship from the two of them there.
After you, sir. No, after you, sir. That's what I'm hearing on track there. We love that. Let's remind ourselves of the standings quickly as we're under the safety car. Although, do bear in mind these are not updated from the sprint results. But I don't think they're going to be too different. Oh, what are you saying?
No, sorry. I was trying to invite someone back and I invited the wrong person.
Okay. So, yeah, as coming into this weekend then, we have Heli on top, who's currently leading the race then, so be very happy about that. Joe is in P2. Joe, of course, not racing this week. I'm just looking on the thing. They're not racing this week, Joe, so we'll see MUFC Joe back shortly, I am sure. As Pro Ultra... that's right. Pro Ultra has got a 10-second penalty for exceeding... That's probably... And he's retired. Pro Ultra has retired. So he got a 10-second penalty for cutting the track. I'm going to assume at the pit entry, because we've seen that happen in this game. And then retired. So whether he then hit the inside wall, I assume he didn't retire himself. I mean, 10 seconds isn't enough for you to quit out, surely. But I'm sure we'll find that one out very late. Brian, if you've got the chance, I'm going to get these driver standards back off screen because they're irrelevant right now. If you get a chance to find out what happened, do let us know. But that's unbelievable. As Regan pits again then.
I think I know what's happened, and I hate to see it because so many drivers in league racing who do it. But some people will have stuff like that happen, and the instant reaction is just to retire the car.
Yeah, I hate it. It's one of my biggest
bugbears,
honestly.
I could say so much about it that I'm not going to say about it because yeah, I'm just not going to say what I could say about it. But yeah, it's not good to see.
No, and of
I
course
mean,
another driver that is not driving this week did the same in another league that I commentate in. From the and then a safety car was out. When a safety car comes out, it really resets the race and actually kind of makes your race more fun. Look at what Chenky did on the last safety car. He went right to the back of the grid and look what he's found himself in third position behind the two Astons who also haven't stopped. So your race isn't over and actually adds a bit of spice almost. The idea of God, I've had a minor inconvenience, a 10-second penalty is a minor inconvenience, let's be fair, and going, you know what, I'm going to go to bed. Like, I just can't get my head around it. Cannot get my head around that mentality. And Brian, I mean, you're one of the you race in other leagues that we've raced together, and you've had some very hard races in your time. Races where like you've been quite far back off the back of the grid, or you've had incidents of people, not your fault, of course. And you've always stuck with it, and I think that's like, yeah, I just don't understand anyone who doesn't do that. Like, if you're just getting crashed into by everyone every corner, like because they all hate you for some reason, fine. But that's not what's happening here. We've got some good clean racing. So yeah, unfortunate, I think, Brian, and not what we want to see.
certainly, I mean, Tuesday night over in APC Your League was a prime example of I had an incident, which you know very much about because did get penalised for it, unfortunately. I knew immediately after it happened I was going to get penalised, but I had that incident and I was missing a good chunk of my front wing, and I was so tempted to retire it. I think I wasn't going to get anything from it. And I was very close to getting ninth at the end of the race. I think it was something like 3/10 in it. So luck can fall your way. You just have to keep going and just keep that mindset that you can get something from a race. Some drivers just don't seem to have that mindset, which, yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah. What was muted? I'm not muted. Yeah, absolutely. So, have a quick look here then on the tyre strategy. So we've got Gabriel and Arctic Ryan, the two Aston Martins, Noah's Ark at the front, and they have not stopped. We have 3-lap newer hards for Chenky. So currently, this is looking like a pretty good strategy. It just depends on how long we go for after this. He now has Owen CFC on 6-lap on mediums, Volt with 5-lap old hards, HRT Liagos on 9-lap medium. So actually, I'm surprised he's not pulled in the pits yet. I don't know what he's doing
I
not in the pits
don't
yet.
think he rejoined the lobby. I think that's AI.
AI, fine. Yeah, so those 3 cars who I imagine HRT will stop, his AI will stop him at some point. Owen CFC and Yi / Volt, however, won't stop anytime soon. So they are the filling in the sandwich here between the two of them, and Chenky's going to love having this gap on Helen. This is going to allow Chenky then to run away because both of them likely to stop again. Helen might be able to nurse these to the end, might be able to, but another safety car will throw a massive spanner in the works with him. And this strategy could have worked out very well for Chenky, but he needs to dispatch of the two Aston Martins ahead extremely quickly. So we're going to go round the final couple of corners on the track then. It's all very calm at the moment. Who do I go on board with? I'm going to stick with Andrea Chenkovan. I've realised we don't say his full name in this league, but here we are. 95 on the car, so that's very confusing because there's 2 of them. And he's got a great line through the corner there. I think he is going to have at least Arctic Ryan going into the first corner. He is right on the back of him then. He thinks better of it though. He's thinking the patience and the long game ahead, his rival for the win then. Full opposite, when I'm going past HRT, I can't see his name again because it's hidden behind my name, has gone past him very quickly as Chenky and Owen CFC then. So Owen CFC wants a bit of this action, and that's actually slowed him up massively. So that's not great for Volt, and he might have Heli on the back of him, and he's flown past him. So that was fantastic driving from the Alpine driver there. So there we go. That gap that Chenky had on Heli end here is absolutely gone. Owen CFC is the only person between them. And I don't think it's going to be very long now until Heli End gets past. Entok then falling backwards, running side by side through the whole corner there with Rob. He looks like he's got a better exit though. He's going to come back past as he pulls out of the slipstream. He feels confident then overtake is on here. We're on board then. Let's go off board and see how he does going into the corner. Currently he's got a better line. He's almost in the back of the Red Bull. He's had to really cut the corner there to not hit the Red Bull, and that slowed him down, and that's not great for him now. In CFC then, 3-second penalties for multiple warnings. Not ideal as Entot does a Tokyo drift around the corner there. And now the Mercedes then of Rob is trying to go past the Volt and actually almost lost it into the back end there. Regan wants a bit of this action. He's missing out. He's like, give me a bit of this, guys. Entok went very tight on the corner there. Got a track limit penalty for his troubles. But Regan said, thank you very much. I'll have a bit of this. Regan now looking to hunt down Volt in front, Rob, and potentially get into the battle for the podium.
Yeah, and I mean, Owen had a good start over Chenky getting up into third, but obviously that penalty is going to come back to bite him, and he's got to pit again because let's be honest, the mediums aren't going to the end. This second safety car, however, has possibly helped Chenky with the tyres. You know, Chenky needed something like that to just be able to nurse the tyres for a few laps, so be interesting to see if Chenky does now try to go to the end. He's got Gele behind him, so it'll be interesting how he fares in that, but provisionally Chenky, based on who has and hasn't pitted, has got second place at the moment, but it's a long way to go still, and as for Regan, Regan can definitely pull something off here in this race now. He's just got to manage the tyres.
Yeah, the only thing with Chenky though, he needed to capitalise while he had track position, and that's not what he's been able to do. Heady's going to come past him here, back for the lead with 5 lap fresher tyres. So, yeah, Chenky, it did look like it may have paid off at that safety car as they go side by side then through the tight hairpin, but Chenky thinks better of that. Smart driver he is, and he had to back out. So he had to really take advantage and gap him while there were cars in between them, but he wasn't able to get past the Aston Martins on their old hard tyres, or Owen CFC on his old medium. So I'm going to get the tyres back off screen now. Yeah, so this hasn't quite worked out for Chenky. But he's not really lost out. He's just kind of back to where he was. And with Pro Ultra out of the race now, of course, we can't forget that. That is going to make it a lot easier. And actually, it opens up a podium position for almost anyone on this track right now. Regan looking racy. He wants to get involved in that. Rob not too far off either, but couldn't hold on to the back of Chenky 95. One interesting thing about Chenky 95, he is running 95 on the side of his car, but 16 on his helmet. So he's obviously running Charles Leclerc's helmet there. So very confusing when you're watching on board, but yeah, doing well, sticking to the back of Heli, and hopefully they will both cycle through back to the lead at some point, I am sure. I guess, Brian, I think let's have a bit of fun. I think we should predict third position. You up for that?
Ooh, okay.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
I'm gonna back someone who, over the last couple of seasons, you wouldn't see up near the podium. I'm gonna back Rob for third.
Interesting. I mean, DT Baden would have been someone I'd love to have backed, just given his pace earlier on, but not doing too well this time as Entok goes ahead of Volt. I think, this is a very hard one. Like, I think the Astons, the McLaren up there could all do it. I'm going to stick my neck out here, and I'm going to put it on Regan. The car we're seeing on screen now, what number is he run? I can't see. I'm going to put it on Regan. So Regan, don't let me down and get yourself up onto the podium. So yes, I think that'd be fun. We're fun to see who that's going to be. You have to remind me because I completely forgot who you just said. Rob, you said, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Right, we'll see how that one pans out. I should ask, is he available? No, I don't think he is. I could ask what his one was. It would be. But yes, Owen, CFC and Heli then going side by side. So this is just a formality at this point. He's coming past. It's a question of when, not if, as there is a yellow sector 1 there. It's a Red Bull going slowly into the pit lane. And I'm going to assume HRT the Argos. Essentially, it's his AI, yes, so he won't retire. That AI will go to the end. But one more retirement, and it's a guaranteed point anyway. So I always say to people, don't retire. It's just somebody, I need to go do something. Just quit out, because if a lot of crashes happen, kind of get points anyway for not even being there. But what do I know? I am sat here in the booth. I don't, I have a league race this season. I am sitting out at least the first half of the year for stuff that I am sorting out at home in real life at the moment. But yeah, Heli looking to go around the outside of Owen CFC there. Owen is driving particularly well here. So I almost went for him for the podium position, but I decided not to. But I think if he does get it, I don't think anyone can doubt that he's driven superbly to get there. Of course, that penalty is looming over him, so that could be his downfall as Hedy does lose the back end there, and that brings Chenky back into this then.
Yeah, I think the biggest, as Arctic Ryan picks up a penalty as well, I think the biggest thing for Owen, for possibly why I didn't say him, is the fact that he's on them 10 lap old medium tyres. He's been on them since lap 4, so I think that's what's going to possibly let him down, as I think Helle is going to go for it around the outside of turn 1 here.
He absolutely tried it, but ONCFC has got some fantastic line. I'm really, really surprised by this. ONCFC is doing a fantastic job of holding Helliend up here then. He's on those old mediums, and let's be fair, the slower of the two drivers, nothing to do with his ability, but Helly has obviously got some mega pace and probably one of the fastest drivers on track. So I'm very impressed with ONCFC so far. As we say, Helly will come past at some point. It's not a question of if it's a question of when. But he's doing a great defence right now, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner. And he's still managing to defend whilst holding on to the DRS of Arctic Ryan ahead, which is massively helping him. It looks like this may be the time then that Helliend is going to go for it. He's gone wide. He's gone for the inside line. It looks like that is now done then. ONCFC has done a great job so far. But he wasn't able to keep it. And yeah, that's it. Chenky then. We'll be able to follow him through. And so will Rob. Your prediction. Rob now is actually, he's going for 5th position. And it looks like he might have it. I just caught that in the back of shot and managed to get on board at the right time. Rob IV, I think that is 007 then. Able just to put his car in the right. I don't think Chenky expected that. It was a clean overtake. It wasn't a late dive. It was well within time, and he's just gone and bloody ruined it by getting a 3-second penalty. Now, if he does a Regan and blames me for that, he can do one because that was not my fault. But yeah, that was a great, fantastic, clean overtake. I've just caught it, but he definitely caught Chenky off guard there.
Yeah, and I think as well with the fact that Rob so much of last season wasn't up around Chenky, I don't think Chenky was really expecting him to go for that kind of a move there. So, I mean, as I said earlier, there's new drivers in the league. There's drivers who are performing a lot better than last season as well. So Chenky missed out last week. He's just got to now. He's sort of a week behind other drivers in that aspect of readjusting to this season. Obviously, had a bit of a longer off season than usual between season 3 and season 4. So Chenky just needs to reel it back in, just get himself mentally in that right place, guys. Chenky's gonna go. Is he good? He's gonna go for both of them here.
Yes, it's 3 wide. And he's gone deep then, Chenky. That's not what you expect to see. So ONCFC then actually lost the DRS. He didn't get through those twisty section. That was not even a real sentence. He did not get through the twisty section very well. And he just fell out of DRS then, which means he was swallowed up by both cars as they went 3 wide down the long back straight there. However, that is an unconventional overtake from Eddie there. I wasn't on board there, but Chenky did go wide then, trying to take both positions and wasn't able to keep it. Helliend then, past Arctic Ryan. I don't quite know where that happened, but that was not going to be in a conventional place, as Owen CFC has had enough of those old medium tyres. He is in the pits, and that is a fresh set of hards. That leaves Helliend then to take the lead then, back from Gabriel. I imagine down the long back straight coming up. Arctic Ryan is in behind, currently holding on. Rob, though, is not. He's teetering on the edge. Chenky 95 then is a half a second behind Rob. So if Rob doesn't get a DRS, it's going to be pass or be passed. Regan doing well then, holding on to that 2-second gap. You want to try and get involved in this while it's all happening. This is a purple sector 1 for Chenky. So now he's been released. He's gone for it. He'll want to try and get involved in this, especially before DET Abaddon catches him. But yeah, it's that was a fun fight. That overtake from Helliend, that was a very unconventional place to do it in the 3rd sector.
Yeah, within that penultimate corner, which you don't see many overtakes, as I'm going to switch on board, he's going to go wheel to wheel with Gabriel. Gabriel just holds the lead on the outside. Helliend, is he going to try and make a move? Gabriel is driving like his life depends on it here, but Yeah, it was on that penultimate corner, the left-hander. You don't see many overtakes there, but Gilly is one of them drivers who, if he sees someone make a mistake, he'll capitalize on it. And I'm just wondering if Artogrind possibly made a mistake through that corner that let him through, as Artogrind now
Oh,
is into the pits.
he's done it. He's got the 3 seconds,
I
Regan. Oh, I needed him to get that podium for so I could win the bet, but fortunately not. Helien then on the back of him. Gabriel then drove fantastically through there. That was some fantastic driving. There was no arguing that was clean as Regan. It's Regan. I wasn't sure if it was Regan or Jenky. Regan goes off track trying to defend from DET Abaddon. So a penalty and a position loss in the same minute. So unfortunate for Regan, but doing very well so far. So he'll be able to just try and hold on to the back of the ET Baden, who I believe off the top of my head has better tyres, and then use his pace to go up the field and get up and around the top guys here. That is actually Arctic Ryan has now pulled himself out of the mix and has gone on to. I think we're on board, weren't we? It's gone on to softs.
Yep.
Okay,
Unless my eyes are playing tricks.
No, they're not. I mean, look, again, I'm not the expert, but that doesn't seem like the smart. But so as he, get it, got his name, Helien then around the outside of Gabriel. I almost like merged their names together then. Gabriel gets the 3 second penalty for his troubles. Unfortunate, but yeah, that was a tight one. They almost came together, so just enough space given by the two. Rob and Chenky will be hoping to follow through imminently. However, Gabriel will probably want to stop as well. Now, it depends if Gabriel is going to do the same thing. So the softs, at this stage, I'll be going on to the mediums. However, if Gabriel can hold out another sort of 2-3 laps, then the softs will absolutely be viable. Although he will lose a bit of track position on Ryan, but should be faster in the dying laps then. So, Helien back in the lead. Gabriel is in second position, hunting him down. Shows his nose there, but thinks better off doing anything from that far back. Rob is currently in the position you said he would be in, but with the fast running Chenky just in behind, and DET Abaddon then looking to hunt down the top four.
Yeah, it's further back. Volt is in, and Volt's gone to the mediums, so Red Bull opting for the mediums onto him. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I commentate on Arctic Ryan elsewhere, or I've commentated on him elsewhere, and he is good with tyre management. It's just this length on this track, I don't think he can pull it off.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But yeah, DT Baden is looking very, very racy at the moment. Very racy. And Regan is just about holding on to the back of him. So he'll be hoping to keep going as Rob then goes past Gabriel. And actually, that Chenky I just saw, yeah, it was. Chenky then saw this happening and went, I'm coming through on this actually. So, yeah, he flung his car out wide. I saw a red Ferrari just absolutely fly out wide. Gabriel's still there. They are wheel banging. So that's DT bad. That's the wrong person. Gabriel doesn't want to let this one go then. And he has gone back through currently. But Chenky's going to try to hold around the outside. But Gabriel used all the track width there. Gave Chenky absolutely nothing to work with. So yeah, good fair racing. You know, it's tight. It's a bit close. Other than the wheel banging element, the rest of it is quite clear. And that is a 3-second penalty for Chenky 95. Brian, I'm going to repeat what I just said there. That's a 3-second penalty for Chenky 95. What do you make of that? That is very uncharacteristic of our current reigning champion.
That is probably the most surprising thing we'll see all race as Gabriel is going to the mediums. But yes, the most surprising thing I would say all race we're going to see is Chenky picking up a penalty. Very uncharacteristic of him, and I'm trying to remember the last time we seen Chenky pick up a penalty.
Yeah, top of my head, I can't think of one. I know we had the only thing I could remember Chenky doing of note that wasn't just a race win was that tyre blowout we had in Imola. I think it was last season or the season before. That was the first time we saw. Yeah, it's the first time we saw a bit of a chink in his armour. First time we went, okay, Chenky does make mistakes sometimes, so he is human, but that is very unfortunate, and that could ruin his chance of second place here, or even the win. You know, he might catch Eddie and go for the get position, but there's no way he's going to get past and drop Eddie by 3 seconds. So not ideal. Currently, he's got Rob and DET Abaddon in his window. So DET Abaddon, who I almost backed for the podium here, and I'm probably looking at it, should have stuck to my first guess here as Gabriel goes back past Owen CFC. He's quietly come from the back to P4. When did this happen?
Him, I've been keeping an eye on it, but I mean, he got disconnected, which I noticed pretty much straight away and gone back in, and that's where he lost quite a bit of his time. But since he's come back in, he's just got his head down and just put his foot down as well. And I mean, it's paid off for him. He's up in fourth. Provisionally, he's in second with
Yeah.
penalties. So this could be a very good result for Alpine this week and just solidify their stance at the top of the title a little bit with Mercedes. Struggling with one driver out and one driver who's, well, I don't want to say Rob's fighting for his life here, but he's fighting to try and get the podium here now.
Yeah, I actually looking at if things stay as they are, I actually wouldn't have been wrong to not go with Abadan because Abadan will be fighting for P2. So that would be it was a P3 obviously that we predicted, but we didn't predict that Chenky could potentially be in P3. So crazy to think. Chenky as well. We need to consider whether he needs to stop again. So he'd be hoping for a safety car right now. He needs a safety car. As DT Abadan then last minute on Rob, so the game actually went on board itself, and what a good time for it because Rob tried to defend and he's gone back through. So Rob has been very, very hard on the defense here. I feel like it's a little bit too hard and something they should really watch out for because that's a bit aggressive a little bit there. There's a little bit of wheel banging and kind of just diving, but DT Baden will come down. He will go again. Although this has lost him a lot of time on Chenky, so he's obviously fighting Chenky here, and he wants to get up there as quick as possible. And there was a 1 second gap, and now Rob is now almost 2 seconds behind Chenky. So this is hurting DT Baden while he's a faster driver. So yeah, Rob does need to be very careful here. But DT Baden, great overtake initially, until Rob came back past. And yeah, DT Baden was not going to chance the outside line there. He's going to go on the inside. He's going to push Rob right to the edge of the track here. Just enough space given. He's lost the back end then, so that's not ideal. And this is bringing Regan back. So these two need to be very careful because if they carry on doing this, they're going to lose Chenky. That's a 3 second gap to Chenky already since they've started fighting. And it would bring Chenky's teammate Regan back into this fight.
As that's a virtual safety car.
What's
Gonna try see what's happened to him. Can't tell if he's done what I think happened. It's either season 1 or season 2 COTA. Some people may remember certainly Regan remembers. We had an Australian driver who tried to enter the pits and went straight on and found a wall and caused a safety car. But that's something I was going to come to as well at some point in this race. The pit lane entrance here, it's the one pit lane entrance in this game which I struggle with the most.
Yeah, it is not.
I just don't like
it. It's not an easy one. I think for me, I just struggle the most. I probably have to say it's Singapore because it's so easy to accidentally miss it entirely and go back on track, and that's super frustrating. But yeah, the thing about this one is it's so open and wide that you try and maximize your line through it, and you end up cutting it instead of going wide. But not ideal for Yi. They're not ideal. But it'd be interesting to see what happened there. I'd be interested to see, Brian, if you've got a chance to have a little look for the race director, DT Abadan and Halliend, the two Alpines, what their warning situation currently looks like. I'm going to leave the penalties up on screen for the final 7 laps so the viewers can see what's going to happen as we get to the line. But yeah, interesting to see. As there is a drive-through penalty for ONCFC, then he was not able to stay under the delta then. VSCs are the worst in this game. It's so hard to get it right, so I don't blame him for getting it wrong. Potentially a retirement coming in, who knows. He is guaranteed a point though for finishing, so I don't recommend it, but yeah, that's exactly what he's done. So this is kind of what I said earlier, Brian, so I'd be interested, to get your opinion on this. Like, why retire when you're guaranteed a point? I get he's in P9 right now.
This is what Chenky was needing, because safety car is out now.
It is. That's weird. He retired. Did not retire in the pit lane.
It's the same as what happened with someone else earlier. It looks as if he's hit the wall because the car's sort of retired and stopped moving, which kind of hints to me that he's found a wall somewhere.
Yeah, I'm on board with HRT. See if I could see that stricken car, but I can't. I'm afraid. So yeah, perhaps it wasn't intentional. Then I'm seeing the general. Where's Rob done that? How has Rob done that?
Aww.
behind the safety car. How has he done that? That is unfortunate. Well, there goes your prediction out the window. My one's starting to look really good again. Let's be fair. My one's starting to look really good again. So that's unfortunate. He'll obviously take that off now while we're behind safety car, and HRT the Argos is miles behind. In fact, he might actually get out ahead of the Aston Martins if he's lucky. Perhaps not, because you'll have to change the tyres. It depends if Aston Martin's coming for a stop as well. Who went on the soft tyres again? Let's get those up because they need to get
Right.
yeah, he needs to get the hell off those. That's crazy. So looking at this, Helliend, Rob, Abaddon, Regan, Entok, Gabriel, and HRT Liargos guaranteed to get to the end. Oh, Helliend's actually decided no. I don't care about guarantees. I'm going in. Chenky, I would have said questionable. Ryan, I would have said questionable. But actually, those 14 lap hards, I don't know if they're dying or they're just stopping for safety, but they're all going to come in then. Every single driver's going to come in. I'd be surprised if the Astons don't. We saw them take track position earlier. So maybe that's a strategy they'll try and do again. No, they are both going to come in. And they are going to double stack it. Everyone then onto the soft tyres. So this is going to be a sprint to the end. I take that back. Regan. Has Regan used his soft tyres? He started on soft, didn't he?
He started on softs.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for Regan. So I'll take back then. Oh, Rob's just got ahead of him there. Might have to take back my prediction because he's going to be swallowed up. That he's absolutely going to be swallowed up here. Those soft tyre runners are all going to be the fastest. So unfortunate for Regan then. He started on softs. The strategy looked good if he had another fresh set of softs, but he unfortunately doesn't. Oh, we are on here then for a 3-lap sprint shootout. Oh, we're looking forward to that, aren't we?
Definitely. And I did the digging on the track limits for you, and both Alpines are one warning away from a penalty. So it's not all done for Chenky. Chenky can still win this race if he can force them both into track limit mistakes.
That is good. I'm glad I got you to go look at that because that is juicy. When I'm in co-coms, that's one thing I always keep an eye on towards the end. I'm like, let's see what the position is like. APC, as you mentioned earlier, the what race? The first race of the season, the top 3, all of them were on 2 warnings, and it was like any one of them could ruin their race here by going drifting just across the line a little bit. But yeah, that's gonna be spicy then. So curious to know what Regan can do for me. We all know the tyres they're on now, so I am going to leave the penalty situation up for the rest of this race. With Owen CFC out, everyone who's on track now either has 3 seconds or no seconds. Tell you what, HRT the Argos, what do we set the AI here to? Because if his car can stay on the back of everyone, he's going to bump straight up the order. He's not even here.
I think it's 85 I've got it set to. I don't remember.
That's pretty good. It's 35 in APC, or 30, I think, in APC. So, so people can't just quit out and let their car finish.
Most people here have the pace to be sort of 190 to 110, roughly. Like, that's the majority of the pace. That's why I put relatively high, so it's a case of if someone gets disconnected, they're not going straight plummeting down.
Yeah, you got to weigh up though, and you got to weigh up whether you're fair to that driver or, you don't really want people coming in and going, I'm just gonna let the AI do all the work for me. I'm just gonna put my feet up. But yeah, it's a balancing act, isn't it, for sure? But yeah, interesting to know. We'll see if actually that works out for him. Obviously, I'm assuming he's not quit intentionally. I'm assuming that's a disconnect that was unintentional. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. If he just stays where he is, obviously these cars are going to spread out a bit once it restarts, but if it stayed as it currently is, he's jumping right up to 4th position. That'd be crazy. In fact, no, Chenky, I think if it was like if it ended behind the safety car right now, he'd be in 2nd. No, 3rd. DT Baden's in 2nd. He'd be in 3rd. So that's actually wild. But yeah, this is going to be a spicy one to the end. I'm excited. We had 2 sprints basically. We've been treated this week here in WeRL. No one got involved in chat, which is a shame. So, but I hope you're all enjoying this stream from race 2. Of course, race 3 will be here next Sunday. No, Sunday is not. What day is it? I've lost just Saturday. You're Saturday. Apologies. I also now commentate in a Sunday league, so I made the mistake there. But as the safety car pulls in, what track are we looking forward to next week, Brian?
Next week, next week, next week. Good question.
I came to you because I think you
Uh,
know the top of your head. But while you research that, I got
Spa.
Spa. Ah, fantastic one. So make sure you're back next week if you're here in the Twitch channel. Follow the Twitch channel, of course, so you get notified when that one goes live. That will, of course, be 7:55 next week out. Be here. You don't want to miss it. You've seen the standards of the drive-in. Ignore the fact that there are 7 DNFs. That doesn't always happen. They've all mostly been in the pit entry though, haven't they? So that's just a glitch in the game. That's not ideal for everyone. But yes, watch the final 3 laps and let's watch how this sprint pans out. And then you'll see what the driver's all about. Chenky right on the back then of Getty End. And they're off the final corner and it's gone straight away then. So that is Regan there going a bit wide as well. So he's losing out, it would seem, to Arctic Ryan. So not a great restart. Didn't take a great line through there. Will the other Aston Martin come through as well? He's got to try for sure. Entok then. He's now moving up into 4th position. So that's fantastic driving from Entok. We can't fault that at all. We weren't on board though as we're watching both Astons get past Regan, my prediction for the podium. So that is unfortunate there. DT Abaddon hold on to the back of Chenky, but Chenky is not holding on to the back of Heady End here. Heady End, okay, lost a bit of time through there, but pulled out 9 tenths through the 3rd set. In fact, almost reached 9 tenths again. Is he going to drop him out of DRS by the end of this lap? He will be hoping that's a yes. Chenky will be hoping that's a no. DT Abaddon, if he fights Chenky, they'll hope to not hold each other up. So that somebody can, of course, go for the lead here. The Alpines then, double podium as it currently stands, with Arctic Ryan on the back of Rob and looking to go for an overtake. Will he pay this? Rob's actually going for it on Entok. So this battle for 4th position is going to be a spicy one to the end.
Yeah, and this is very good for the Alpine team. They will take the lead of the constructors, if my math is correct. The 7 points behind Mercedes at the moment. Double podium should put them clear at the top. But Ferrari, difficult week last week. Not the greatest of weeks this week, but they're making ground in the championship now again. And I mean, they still got a lot to do to catch up to Alpine, but hopefully they can. And I apologize if you hear my cat whipping me with its tail.
That's not something you hear Crofty say very often, is it? Yeah, that's the kind of commentary you get here, though, in WRL. This is where it's at, you know. You want to hear about the cat tails. It's a lot more fun, you know, than all this talk of, I don't know, what does Brundle say? You know? Anyway, I'm trying to be funny, but I can't even think of an example. So let's focus on the racing at hand, then, as we are on the penultimate lap, and the gaps have eked out. Chenky's just teetering on the edge then of DRS. Will he have got it on the long back straight? DT Abaddon's falling out. Rob now has passed Entok for 4th position, but Rob has got 6 seconds worth of penalties. He has the most penalties of anyone on the grid here. Regan, unfortunately, has fallen all the way, well, I say all the way to the back, all the way to the back of the drivers who are here. So those medium tyres, unfortunately, doing him dirty. The Mercedes then of Rob and Arctic Ryan going side by side, and his teammate Gabriel is watching this going, I want a bit of this going, you fight, push him wide, I will also come through, and that's exactly what he's doing. So he's pushed him wide, and Gabriel is now getting himself into the action and going to try and go around the outside of that corner. He is, both the Astons are there, they both swarming this Mercedes. The Mercedes driver has never seen so many Aston Martins in one place, so much green, and then you've got the kick Sauber just up ahead as well, also in green, so he'll be hating green at the end of this one. But he's currently, Rob, the filling is he is a Mercedes sandwich. So I'm going to get the sandwiches right. I hate when we get sandwiches wrong. He is the sandwich. It's a Rob sandwich, not an Aston sandwich, because you don't call it a bread sandwich. And the Astons now are going around the outside. They're looking to take the position. They're looking to demote him and chuck him outside of the bread. They're saying, no, this is not the filling we want. You can be discarded. And that's what they've done. They've now messed up the sandwich and put the filling on the outside. Not ideal. Chenky then looks like he will not be able to drop Abaddon by the end of this lap. But before we get to the end of this lap, Ryan, what have you thought of this race?
I mean, it's been a exciting one. I mean, yes, the DNFs and safety cars have somewhat ruined it, but apart from that, it's been an exciting race. I mean, Chenky's charged to try and go on to win this. Kelly going for his 2nd in a row. It's been an exciting race weekend. That is a definite.
For sure, for sure. Heli's kind of been on his own, and actually, look at Chenki's pace now. It's too little, too late, I'm afraid, Chenki. But Chenki has absolutely got the pace, and he's on him like a. Also, I'll be careful what I actually say there. I was going to say something I probably shouldn't say on stream. Actually, we're on Twitch. I probably get away with it. But yes, he is on the back of him, extremely close. But he's probably not going to risk anything crazy here because he has the penalty. Anyway, so getting in then. He's going to come around the final quarter. Has more position swaps further back. He's going to come around the final quarter to win then. Race 2 here at Circuit of the Americas. The ET Baden will take second position. So it's an Alpine 1-2 for Chenki in third. Entok, fantastic fourth position for him. Ryan, Gabriel will take P6 in the end on track as Rob didn't. They had too many penalties, unfortunately. But Rob had got back past him then on that lap. But that was a crazy last lap. A 3-lap shootout then following a third safety car, I think it was, in this race. So, yeah, that was a bit of a crazy one. Let's run you through the results then. We'll watch the Alpines doing weird stuff on the podium first. And we were... DT Abaddon, you see. He got second, though. So I'm not annoyed I didn't predict him for third position. But none of us were actually right on that one. And driver of the day goes to Arctic Ryan. Let's look at the results here then. Helien then in the Alpine wins that one. He actually gets the most points of the weekend. DET Abaddon, his teammate, rounds up an Alpine 1-2. So that's a fantastic showing from Alpine. Looking forward to seeing what they can do as this season progresses. Chenki, uncharacteristic penalty from Chenki 95, puts him in third position then. Arctic Ryan actually gets fourth position on track. Entok, though. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing, aren't I? There we go. Entok gets fourth position on track. Arctic Ryan comes in fifth. Gabriel, his teammate, gets sixth position, taking it from Rob, who had 6 seconds worth of penalties. Regan, then, unfortunate to only have mediums at the end. There goes eighth. HRT Liagos gets 9th despite not being here. And your retirements were Owen CFC, Yi, Pro Ultra, Zitterstaff, Angry, Crancy, and MUFC Joe. And now I can bring that title card back up because I don't need to take it back off again then. So a lot of retirements from that one there, Brian. Although mostly in the pit entry, it would seem.
Yes, multiple people getting close out there, but a nice one too for Alpine and a nice race in general. Oh my God, I need to move this car. But yeah, a good race all around. A fun, interesting one, exciting one. Probably a few more incidents seen than would have liked. There's already been a few tickets made for incidents, so.
Yeah, of course. Driver of the day then. It went to the Aston Martin driver. Do you agree with that one? Oh, I think I've lost him. Oh, what's happened? My microphone isn't working anymore. It seems to be on stream, but not in the Discord. Let me have a little quick look at that. Very, very odd. Okay. So Brian, unfortunately, isn't going here. Let me try and fix that. No. Okay, connecting. Yeah, okay, so a bit of a weird thing happening with Discord. We are meant to be doing some interviews, but I, unfortunately, don't seem to be able to get into the Discord channel. Do bear with me 1 second. Yeah, while I fix this, please do hang around for interviews. We've got some interviews with some of the drivers. I know we've got 2 currently waiting to speak to us, so we will get those in. But let me try again and see if that's fixed it. Has that fixed it, Brian?
Yes, it has.
No idea what happened there. So I am on stream still, but it just said connect into the channel. It just stopped working. So extremely odd there, but I'm glad to be back. I was saying just quickly before that happened that the reserve driver in the Aston Martin there got the driver of the day. Did you agree with that one?
Hey, I would have personally given it to Abaddon after that recovery drive.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I tell you what, speaking about Abaddon, let's actually speak to him because that was a fantastic drive. He looked down and out towards the back of the grid during the midpoint of that race, but came back for a fantastic second place then. So, Baden, welcome to the commentary booth. Brian was just saying that you were his driver of the day, despite the game not giving it to you. What happened quite early on? What put you to the back of the grid? And then were you able to use so much pace? And how were you able to get back into P2 at the end there?
So, basically, is it all right if I give you like a full race summary,
Ah,
just
please do. You would
quickly?
love to hear it, yeah.
Right. So it started off right in P3. I thought, let's try and go for one on Pro Ultra. He's a lot faster than me. It would greatly help my teammate if I could get ahead of him early on. Obviously shoved me off the track, so obviously that door's been closed. Come to about lap 7, safety car comes out. I'm thinking, right, that's really that's shot Pro Ultra strategy to hell. Right, no one boxes because obviously no one's going 21 laps on hards and making it to the end. And then another safety car comes out, and Pro Ultra has a hissy fit and rage quits. So I'm now sat in. Well, I think I was supposed to be in second, but Entok overtook me in the pit lane because we double stacked. It looked to me like he glitched ahead of me, which is why I asked for the position back, but it's okay. And then basically, what happened from there is my sound went about a lap before the safety car came in. I do a lap without no. That's the reason I spun on the exit of turn 1 on the safety car restart was because I had no sound, so I couldn't hear my rev limit, so I couldn't hear my rev. So I maxed out the revs and just turned myself around pretty much. Then I disconnected. Took me a couple laps to get back in because communicating with online services is an absolute joke in this game. I come back and I'm thinking this is why League should have higher AI levels in races, because otherwise I would have been sat at about 9 seconds back from anyone and my race would have been over. And then yeah, basically what happened was I awakened. I don't want to sound really cringe when I say it, but I awakened the dive bombing the shit out of everyone Abaddon, right? And then sort of I just overtake everyone and then people started boxing. I'm thinking, why are they boxing? It's probably because new tires and all that. They're gonna get a undercut on everyone because they're silly billies. So I was then sat in, what was it, P3? No, P4 behind my teammate Rob and Chenky, and then just I overtake Rob in the pit lane because he gets an unfair 10 seconds. I mean, free position. Who would say no? Um, and then me and my teammate pull off an absolute masterclass. He backstopped Chenky on the last lap, and I come home to finish P2. It was more sort of a keep calm but be aggressive at the same time sort of race, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was fun to watch. I mean, we were trying to predict the podium at one point, and I said, "Yo, you." I think I went to you and said, he would absolutely be the driver who I think would definitely get a podium today, but being at the back is probably not going to happen." And then you absolutely, not only did you, make me look wrong by saying, "Well, actually, I'm not going to go for third position. I'm actually going to go for second. So have a bit of this." We obviously Chenky, uncharacteristic penalty for him. We don't see that very often for him, so I'm sure you would love to have seen that. But yeah, of course, you obviously finished second behind your teammate who started on pole. So do you think if you were able to qualify higher, or if you were able to, you didn't have those issues early on, you could have been fighting for the win here?
I honestly don't think I would have been able to finish any higher, even without the issues of having of that spin and then the disconnect. He was really fast today, and I give him props for it because I think if it was short qualifying, he'd more than likely be in the high 30s. And to qualify pole ahead of Pro Ultra, who is literally known to be a qualifying merchant in almost every league he's in, is crazy to start. And then to go on and win it like he did, just in dominant fashion, is yeah. I don't think I could have done any better than I did, issue or not.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It was a great race, though. You, of course, we're not 100%. Oh, I'm not 100% on this. I think Brian did say that Alpine will be leading the team championship coming out of this race. I think that's probably 100% true. So, do you think you guys are going to take it? You're going to take the championship this one? Obviously, there's a lot of races still left to go, but do you think you guys have got what it takes to take it and take it back from Ferrari?
I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm going to be confident and say I think we can get it.
That's what we want to hear from the team, the TP there, of course. Brian, do you have any questions for? Actually, before I come to you, I think I heard you say your name was it Abaddon. Have we been saying it wrong this whole time?
Yes, Abaddon.
You should have told us earlier.
I know. Wait, what were you saying it as? It was like
We've all said Abaddon, all of us, all three of us, even Owen's
yeah.
here, we've all said it
It's
like
it's so annoying to me because they always put the emphasis on the B, even though there's
Yeah.
two D's.
Yeah, apologies about that. So, Brian, do you have any questions for Abaddon?
I don't know. I think everything was covered there.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Well done. I think, as Brian said, you're his driver of the day, so he ignored the game and says definitely use. And I don't think he can be wrong on that. It was a fantastic drive for you, and we're hoping to see you do it again in the future. So thanks for coming into the booth.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'll cut him off there. He did a U, Brian. There's that thing where he stops talking for a second and then starts again. Yeah, unfortunate, but I'm sure he won't hold it against me. So let's have a quick chat then with the reserve driver for Aston Martin today, who obviously ended pretty well in the end. Wasn't a bad showing. Oh, no. I was coughing. I thought he was laughing. I thought he doesn't agree with what I'm saying, clearly. Ryan95, welcome to the booth. Just run us through that race. It was a race. It was quite a mix for you. There's points where you're looking like you could have been on for the podium, and points where it didn't quite work out with some of the overtakes. So, what's your thoughts on that race? You actually got driver of the day from the game. So, do you agree with that? And yeah, just run us through that race if you don't mind.
Well, when it came to the qualifying, I invalidated, so I started P14. But then when it came to the race, obviously started on hards. But by the time, lap 18 was around or something, my tyres were only on like 40%. So I thought, with how the tyre wear was going, I went, great, I'll go on soft, see how they do. Got back up a bit, but luckily enough, another safety car came out. So I went on my qualifying softs, tried catching up. I don't think I did too bad first race.
Yeah, and the game agrees. The game obviously gives you that driver of the day. I think that might have meant you made up the most positions potentially. So, yeah, not a bad showing. But what there was, you kept it on track. There's quite a lot of retirements today. So, yeah, you managed to keep it on track and you actually finished. A great showing then. You and your teammate were side by side for quite a lot of that. Obviously, you are obviously a reserve. So I guess the first question is, did you and Gabriel, you worked together quite well. Was there a bit of strategy there? Were you kind of letting each other past, or was it all out, just the fastest driver? And I guess the second question is, will we see you back again in a seat later on in the season?
Well, I don't know about the thingy because I've not said out to Gabriel or Owen who was just driving. But the last lap, he went for a move, pushed me a bit wide, got past. I was a bit confused about instead of just sticking for the P5 and 6 guarantee. And then he ran a bit, and then I got back past him. But hopefully, I'll get a full time.
Yeah, we saw you both fighting the Mercedes. In fact, you were sandwiching the Mercedes at one point. It was the filling in that sandwich at one point, and we were wondering where you guys were going to end up. I can't remember off the top of my head where Gabriel finished, but I think he came off worse on that one, so probably not really worth going.
He did finish 6th. He just got back because that guy had a 6-second penalty, but he only had 3.
But, yeah, of course. So it wasn't really worth going for it, was it, for him? But yeah, I think you obviously showed great pace today, and obviously it'd be good to see you on the grid more. And I'm sure Gabriel was probably happy to have another teammate. We see Gabriel and his teammate always run side by side every race, so I'm sure he's happy to have a standing who was able to race with today. I'm
lucky because this track I'm quite decent at, but when it comes to ones like Spa next week, I'm not. But I hopefully get enough time to practice. But with still using traction control, I don't think I'm doing too bad.
No, for sure. And obviously that's something we'll see how you get on, because it sounds like we'll see you back very soon. So we're looking forward to that. Brian, do you have any questions for Ryan?
No, I don't.
I like the way you always think about it first. It's always like, no. Great, Ryan. Well, thanks for joining us, and looking forward to seeing you back in the car very soon.
Sorry to see it.
Yeah. Final thoughts then, Brian. What do you think? That was for me, like, Chenky getting that penalty and finishing third position was the thing that really stands out. Something we don't expect very often, which awarded Alpine a 1-2, which it's great for them, not great for the defending team's champions then. So, what were your standouts from that race?
I definitely think Chenky's 3-second uncharacteristic, that's a massive standout. But Abadan's comeback, that's another standout in my opinion from today's race. We just got to see how this season now pans out. It's going to be a tough one for Ferrari to retain the constructors' title, and no team has retained the constructors' title here in this league yet. So we'll see. Can Ferrari retain it? Big questions to be asked. Or will Alpine get there first?
Yeah, of course, unfortunate for Regan then to have started on the softs and having no softs to run after the safety car. Otherwise, we could have seen something great from Regan, potential podium with all the other penalties on the track. But that was unfortunate. But Alpine looked like they could be the runaway and the people to beat this season, which is fun for Tier 1 Season 4. So that will be all then from WRL. Season 4 Race 2 for Tier 1 here at Circuit of the Americas. Join us again next week. 7:55 race qualifying starts at 8 o'clock here on the World E-Racing League Twitch channel. My name's been Carlos W, joined by Brian Moore. And from us, it is goodbye.